There's the button. I figured it out.
The content in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. We are not scientists, lawyers, doctors, or experts in any of the fields discussed. The topics we cover, including but not limited to aliens, dinosaurs, biology, space, general science, astrology, archaeology, quantum computing, AI, pop culture, and any other areas of study or whatever we can think of to research, are based on publicly available information, theories, and personal interpretations. Our content should not be taken as fact, scientific evidence, or professional advice. Always do your own research and consult qualified experts when seeking factual or medical information. Enjoy the journey of curiosity and exploration with us. Remember, it's better to burn out than fade away. May the odds ever be in your favor.
I didn't know you added that. May the odds ever be in your favor. That's what you said. I didn't catch it last time.
You didn't catch that last time?
Yeah. Anywho,
all right. First one's historical. How do you say this? Gobekle Tepe? Gobekle?
Yeah, I'm sure it's wrong. Gobekle Tepe. I think it's out in Turkey.
I like hearing Joe Rogan say it. See how much we get.
Ooh. Well, there should be some more. Can you type?
What? I can
and
edit
any new research, and the most recent research to just in case. Because this is like one of those things. They've only like uncovered like a small portion of it.
Excuse me. Here we go. We're rolling.
Rolling. What?
I think I should have them read all of it at once, or?
I mean, I said you can stop it. I think, yeah, might as well. See how big it is first. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all of it at once because we'll want to stop and.
There's only a few pictures. It's just kind of cool to see like the renditions of what it was before without it getting busted down.
Let me do 2 paragraphs and I'll pull those pictures up.
Gobekle Tepe is a significant Neolithic archaeological site located in southeastern Turkey, approximately 15 kilometers northeast of Sanliurfa, dating back to around 9,600 to 8,200 BC. It is considered one of the oldest known megalithic structures in the world. The site comprises large circular enclosures with massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some reaching up to 5.5 meters in height and weighing up to 10 tons. Many of these pillars are intricately adorned with reliefs depicting wild animals such as lions, boars, and birds, providing valuable insights into prehistoric art and symbolism. Wikipedia.org. The discovery of Gobekle Tepe has challenged traditional narratives about the development of human societies. Prior to its excavation, it was widely believed that complex societal structures and monumental architecture emerged only after the advent of agriculture. However, Gobekle Tepe predates known agricultural practices, suggesting that organized communal efforts, possibly for religious or ceremonial purposes, may have preceded farming. This has led scholars to reevaluate the relationship between sedentism and the construction of monumental architecture.
If I remember right, they found it like they filled it in with rock and rubble. Like someone tried to hide it too.
Mm-hmm.
And they like assumed it was, I don't know. There was theories on why. I don't want to say why, but it's weird. 9,000 years old.
That's crazy. Wasn't the Egyptians, like the pharaohs and stuff, like 6,000 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Predates the pyramids at Giza by like 3,000 years. Is that?
According to, yeah.
And just to put it in perspective, you think about it, it's like, oh, that wasn't, you think of time, but it's like think 400 years ago from now was was around the time Columbus was arriving in the Americas, right?
Right.
Well, it was a little less than that, but still, it's. You think about the technology from now to then, or then to now,
and those were 10 ton. Those are 20,000 pound T pillars. Like, how did you get that out of the ground and put it up 9,000 years ago when everybody was supposed to be just farming? Tell me how me and you are going to do that today. That's almost impossible. And we can have means to do it.
All right, next paragraph.
The site was first identified in a 1963 survey, but gained prominence after German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt initiated excavations in 1995. Since then, ongoing research has revealed that only a fraction of the site has been excavated, with geophysical surveys indicating the presence of at least 20 large enclosures yet to be uncovered. In 2018, Gobekle Tepe was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, underscoring its universal value as a testament to early monumental architecture. Wikipedia.org. Recent studies have provided further insights into the site's significance. For instance, findings suggest that Gobekle Tepe was not merely a ceremonial site, but may have also been a thriving settlement with evidence of domestic structures and extensive cereal processing. This challenges earlier interpretations of the site as solely a sanctuary used by nomadic groups. TheGuardian.com. For those seeking a deeper understanding of Gobekle Tepe, the following resources are recommended.
Right there by Syria and Turkey.
Mm-hmm. Where was that? Here was the map. Interesting. I still can't believe it's that old. That's crazy.
And there's 20 more spots they haven't even really dug yet because they're just going so slow.
Whoa. That kind of shows maybe a rendering of what it would look like.
Right. They still don't really understand what it was. I mean, why would you put those 10-ton stones up just to have them there? It's almost like it's a machine of some sort, but they can't figure out why. You know what it looks like? It looks like those, like a plug end upside down, like something was supposed to go to it, you know?
It's a landing spot for aliens.
Back to the first statement we played at the beginning.
Disclaimer. What did they say each one of those pillars weighed?
10 tons.
So look at this rendering right here. It's like somebody created this so that tripod with ropes is holding 20,000 pounds of stone. I wonder if that would even be possible.
Which you can, but taking that out and moving it there back when they're supposed to be just farmers, pretty impressive. It just changes the timeline a little bit. That's why this whole thing's kind of crazy.
This is about all that's left on this.
Gobekle Tepe, Genesis of the Gods by Andrew Collins. This book explores the discovery and significance of the site.
Just showing the sources or recommended reading.
Oh, great. Yeah.
It didn't spit out much information about that. I would have thought there'd been more.
Yeah, because I think it's a lot of speculation. It's just so weird. Because there's reliefs on those sides of those. There's one picture where there's a picture of some of the animals that's carved into one of those block tees.
Actually, it's real quick, dating back to 9600 or 8200 BC. So it's actually even 2,000 years older than that number because it's right.
Yep.
So we said that wrong. Or I did.
But there's pictures of lions. So they were traveling to Africa from Turkey and Syria area because they weren't. I don't think lions are even close to that area. If I remember right, lions are mainly in the middle of Africa, and it's not even like in the northern part. So they were traveling too. It wasn't just like a real local thing. Or maybe it was a savanna. I don't know. Maybe it was a savanna there. Who knows?
It's interesting to think because even biblical times was what 6,000 BC in the origins of the Bible.
Supposedly, yeah, somewhat. I think. I'm not sure. I hate to say.
Yeah, I don't want to be wrong, but I'm thinking that's what it is. We need. Oh, well, I have Jamie right here, so
Yeah, true that. Date.
some weird answer. The earliest texts likely date to 1200 to 1000 BCE. The rest of the Hebrew Bible is written and compiled between. Interesting. I thought it was older than that.
The Dead Sea. That's the Torah. And the Dead Sea Scrolls were 300 BC, before the New Testament.
Yeah.
Was written. Wait. That's the discrepancy. Dead Sea Scrolls were written before Jesus came back, about Jesus. Is that what it's saying there?
I don't think Dead Sea Scrolls are all about Jesus, though, and we're getting into something I'm not sure about. But I don't think they're completely about that. I think it's mixed up with different things.
Yeah.
But it also says here, it says the earliest texts likely date around 1200 to 1000 BCE, but the Torah is between 1000 and 500. So what's older than the Torah? Because that has Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy in it.
I don't know. Must be just taking some from some. I don't know. Interesting. New Testament. Go down a little bit further to see the rest of that.
That's New Testament stuff.
Yep. It's basically 3,000 years.
I'll ask it. What texts are older than the Torah? Actually, I should ask it what biblical texts. So, because there are other texts.
Sumerians and Gilgamesh. That's why when I was a kid, I thought Ghostbusters was just a bunch of made up stuff. No, those were real.
Yeah.
Gozer, the Garzarian, and the Gatekeeper.
That's what it says. It says the Epic of Gilgamesh. I don't know how to pronounce that. This is stuff that you hear Billy Carson reference a lot. The Enumi Elish.
Yep.
That's cool. It gave me 90% of the response wasn't biblical, and the question was, what biblical texts are older than the Torah? Because it previously just said that there were older texts than the Torah when I asked it in the Bible. It's going off the rails. What?
Well, it makes you kind of want to go into all those other texts, you know.
I know. Yeah. I'm making notes.
Anyway.
Next.
Yeah, we can.
So, do you want to go on to that other one that you mentioned, that
Angkor Wat, Angkor.
Yeah.
WAT.
And that is the spot.
Yep, the spiral cone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Still going.
It's gonna be interesting. I didn't find an aerial view. I've seen it before, but I didn't find one. Because it's kind of a squared off thing too, if I remember right.
Angkor Wat, located near Siem Reap, Cambodia, is a monumental temple complex and the largest religious monument globally. Constructed in the early 12th century by King Yavarman II, it served as the state temple and capital city of the Khmer Empire. Initially dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, Angkor Wat gradually transformed into a Buddhist temple towards the end of the 12th century. Wikipedia.org. Social, political, and economic context. During its zenith, Angkor was a thriving metropolis and the heart of the Khmer Empire, reflecting the empire's immense wealth, political stability, and sophisticated culture. The construction of such an extensive temple complex underscores the empire's economic prosperity and the centralized authority of its rulers. The shift from Hinduism to Buddhism during this period also indicates significant religious and cultural transitions within the society.
Interesting.
How cool is that?
This is crazy. Is it all
It's
made
like missiles or pine cones.
That's crazy.
There's some more. There's more. I forgot it was Cambodia. I thought it was India, but there's some more really cool ones in India I want to get to.
All right, I'm gonna have it read the rest of this. And
Yep.
Significant outcomes and consequences. The establishment of Angkor Wat not only symbolized the Khmer Empire's architectural and artistic achievements, but also played a pivotal role in consolidating religious and political power. In the long term, it has become a symbol of Cambodian identity and continues to influence art, culture, and tourism in the region. Today, Angkor Wat is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a major tourist destination, contributing significantly to Cambodia's economy. The Times COUK. Notable quotes, primary sources, and artifacts. One of the primary historical accounts of Angkor comes from Zhou Daguan, a Chinese diplomat who visited the Khmer capital in 1296. His writings, The Customs of Cambodia, provide invaluable insights into the society, culture, and architecture of Angkor during that period. Wikipedia.org. Connections to other historical events. The architectural grandeur of Angkor Wat has drawn comparisons to other monumental constructions, such as the pyramids of Egypt and the temples of ancient Greece, highlighting a universal human aspiration to create structures that reflect religious and cultural values.
Ask, is it done?
yes.
Ask, is there a follow-up question, please?
Wait, here's recent research.
Okay. Ooh, LiDAR.
Recent research and developments. Recent studies have employed advanced technologies like LiDAR to uncover previously hidden aspects of Angkor Wat, revealing intricate details about its construction and the urban planning of the surrounding city. These findings have provided deeper insights into the sophistication of the Khmer Empire and have been featured in various archaeological publications. Additionally, contemporary discussions have emerged regarding the impact of tourism on Angkor Wat. For instance, a recent trend where tourists recreate the Temple Run game within the temple complex has raised concerns about potential damage to the site and the need for sustainable tourism practices. nypost.com. Furthermore, environmental changes affecting the Mekong River and Tonle Sap Lake ecosystems pose challenges to the preservation of Angkor Wat, as these water systems have historically been integral to the site's sustainability. The Times COUK. These developments underscore the importance of ongoing research and conservation efforts to preserve Angkor Wat for future generations.
That's a cool picture.
So what about that one?
That was interesting how it was built Hindu and then it turned over to Buddhism. Obviously, it was probably something conquered them. Ask it a follow-up question. Are there dinosaurs carved in reliefs at Angkor Wat?
Say it again.
Are there dinosaurs carved in reliefs? I was thinking it was this.
Sounds like a really weird way to ask it, but I'm going to go with what you're saying. Are there dinosaurs carved into the reliefs?
In reliefs in the Angkor Wat. You're just push it and see what it has. You don't have to put that. I don't think if it's a follow-up. The temple near.
Just what you wanted?
Yep. It's a temple close to Angkor Wat.
Yes, there is a controversial carving of Ta Prom, a temple near Angkor Wat, that some people claim depicts a stegosaurus. The carving is part of a series of bas reliefs featuring animals, both real and mythical, on the temple's stone walls. Interpretations of the dinosaur carving pareidolia, seeing patterns in random shapes. Some scholars argue that the carving does not actually depict a dinosaur but maybe a stylized depiction of another animal, such as a rhinoceros, a boar, or a mythical creature. The plates on its back could be decorative flourishes or plant motifs commonly used in Khmer art. Symbolic or mythological, meaning the Khmer civilization included many mythical animals in its artwork, blending real creatures with imaginative elements. The carving could represent a creature from folklore rather than an actual dinosaur. Cambodian artistic tradition. Other carvings at Angkor depict elephants, monkeys, and deer with exaggerated or stylized features, suggesting that artistic license played a role. Alternative theories. Some fringe theories suggest that ancient Khmer people may have encountered dinosaur fossils and incorporated them into their artwork. Others argue that the depiction could be evidence of knowledge passed down through oral traditions. Scientific consensus. The prevailing view among archaeologists and historians is that the carving is not evidence that the Khmer civilization had knowledge of dinosaurs. Instead, it's most likely a case of artistic interpretation, stylized representation, or misinterpretation of a different animal. Would you like to see images of the carving or sources discussing it in more detail?
Well, yeah, I would.
I was just looking it up because I've seen the picture and it looks like a dinosaur right there. What do you think that looks like to you? Far right.
I think it looks like a rhino.
It looks like a boar.
Oh, wait.
Sure. I mean,
I don't know.
what else in the world? It literally looks exactly like we would make. If you showed any kid that, they go, "Oh, look, it's a stegosaurus." Interesting, at the least.
Well, I would argue that it really does look like a rhino, except for the thing across its back. That does look like what they estimate the back of a stegosaurus or a brontosaurus, not a stegosaurus, looks like.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's just interesting. I mean, some of the other pictures, I think if you go back, that picture they showed you, there's another picture that I think there's other things that are kind of interesting that might look, it looks similar to that even.
What's the scientific data on this one?
Green. It's got algae for skin.
Okay. All right. What else?
Can you go to another, is there another pictures? I can't remember what they are. Right to the left. I mean, can you click on those any closer?
Oh, wait. Oops. There says there's 9 of them here. I don't see how to get to them.
Yeah. I was thinking some of the other ones. Yeah, that bottom one, it's like a half man, half lion. That was like, yeah, that's kind of weird.
I feel like that picture's kind of inappropriate.
You spread an eagle there, bub. You might want to put a little drape there or something.
Let's get this guy some pants.
Very interesting. Did that in Cambodia. All right.
Okay, so I guess the real interesting thing would be to get close-ups of all the other ones and see what they are. Because if all of the other ones are regular animals, but then this one here in the middle would be a dinosaur, it might seem weird. But if
they were,
it looks
I think they're like snakes and like, I don't know. If I remember, I looked at some of the other ones.
Interesting.
We'll have to look it up more, maybe. Which way are you going to do next?
Argue that the carving is evidence that humans and dinosaurs coexisted, suggesting that ancient artists had firsthand knowledge of these creatures.
Well, that's just all speculation, but still, it is what it is. Even if they found bones, they had to, I mean, it's still amazing that we've come up with what we've come up with. And the only reason we've come up with some of that stuff is we found them mummified in ice and we found their skin. So we kind of know what they looked like.
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
Okay. Moving on.
Which one's next? Immortal.
That's exactly what's going on.
Boom. Nailed it.
Wonder if we could just do an idea.
Excellent. What? Include pictures? Yeah, I was going to say that too.
All right, let's do that. See if it'll.
Oh, you have to pay extra.
Yeah, it downgrades it after you do so many.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it with a new one.
Gotcha. I heard it too, baby. Now this one is pretty freaky, man.
Pulling on from the web.
Well, ChatGPT broke. That's fake. God, so bad.
Why do you?
Here's
Why
an
do
illustration.
you sound like you're like Elf right now? You're not Santa Claus. I am. No, you're not.
I like maple syrup.
You smell like beef and cheese. Sit on the throne of lies.
I love that movie.
The immortal jellyfish Turritopsis dornii is remarkable because it has the ability to revert its cells back to a juvenile form after reaching maturity, essentially reversing the aging process. This ability is called transdifferentiation. When the jellyfish experiences physical damage, environmental stress, or is nearing the end of its life cycle, it can transform its adult cells into cells resembling those of a polyp, the earliest stage of its life cycle. From there, it can start its life anew, effectively restarting its biological clock. This process can theoretically go on indefinitely, which is why it's often referred to as immortal. However, while the species may avoid death due to aging, it is not immune to predation, disease, or other environmental factors that could end its life. Would you like me to create an image of the immortal jellyfish in its various life stages?
Yeah. Preferably not a
How
fake one.
crazy is that?
Oh, it's gonna be a bunch of roadblocks now.
I'm surprised the actors in Hollywood haven't tried to figure out how to take some syrup from it and make their face go backwards.
That's interesting.
Crazy to think they could be in the oceans as long as the ocean's been around. Some of them.
It's amazing. Some of these animals we talked about. It's like, I mean, I knew there's some weird stuff out there, but dang.
Yeah, I know. It gets crazier. I've pre-studied some stuff. It's nuts, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've always studied this stuff, and it's crazy to think there's so much more there than I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do Vulture Bees since we're on.
If it'll let me.
We're on animals.
I feel like I'm running out of gas here with it. I haven't had it hit me this fast. We must have asked it too many questions already. I don't need to ask this for the vulture bees.
What makes vulture bees different than normal bees?
Hmm.
And I don't know what makes it. Yeah, that'll be good enough, probably. Now this is messed up.
Vulture bees are a fascinating and unique species of bee, scientifically known as tribe Meliponidae, and they are different from other bees in several notable ways. Diet: unlike most bees that primarily gather nectar and pollen, vulture bees feed on decaying meat. They are the only known bees that are carnivorous, specifically scavengers. They primarily feed on the flesh of dead animals, including birds, small mammals, and reptiles. Their ability to digest decaying flesh is due to their highly specialized digestive enzymes. Honey production: while other bees typically produce honey from nectar, vulture bees produce a type of honey that is somewhat different in chemical composition due to their meat-based diet. Their honey has a distinctive, often more pungent smell compared to traditional honey. Behavior: vulture bees are solitary or live in small colonies compared to the large hives of more familiar bees like honeybees. Their foraging behavior is specialized for locating dead animal carcasses, and they are equipped with strong mandibles to break down the tissue. Ecological role: vulture bees play a role in the ecosystem as decomposers, helping to break down organic material and recycle nutrients. Similar to vultures in the bird world, habitat: they are typically found in tropical regions of Central and South America, where they can access the decaying carcasses that make up their diet. Overall, vulture bees stand out due to their unique carnivorous feeding habits and their adaptation to an unusual ecological niche compared to the more familiar plant-pollinating bees.
Yeah, this honey tastes weird. That's from a vulture bee. They eat rotten meat.
You ever had meat honey?
Tastes like
It's just dead animal chewed up, and they spit it out and make honey.
So this
It
is
ferments.
this is an interesting concept. We were talking about this the other day that, as humans, we have to prepare our food perfectly or it makes us really sick if it's not just right. But these guys eat, but a lot of things eat, decaying animals, but bees eat it as well. That's interesting.
Oh, I mean, and if I remember, they don't sting too. They're one of the few that don't sting.
I did see a diagram that said stingless bees on something. I don't know if that's confirmed, but wow, what a weird.
I mean, how crazy. And it's just weird to think that we eat honey and it's such a delicacy, and they literally are like vomiting it. They eat it and vomit it back up. Like, yummy.
That's our next question, right? The benefits of honey.
Yep.
I was curious about that I was thinking that after hearing that, I was thinking, what?
I think it regulates my energy better. I don't know what it does. I'm just guessing. It sits in your stomach longer. I have to digest it. Sugar just goes.
It's funny that it's describing honey as a natural sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was that. I mean, honey's like, it's funny that it worded it that way, I think.
Yeah.
Honey is a natural sweetener that provides several health benefits, thanks to its rich composition of sugars, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Here are some of the key benefits. 1. Rich in antioxidants, honey contains antioxidants such as phenols, flavonoids, and organic acids, which can help protect the body from oxidative stress and inflammation, reducing the risk of chronic diseases. 2. Antibacterial and antifungal properties. Honey, especially raw honey, has natural antibacterial and antifungal properties. It has been used for centuries in wound care and to fight infections due to its ability to inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria and fungi. 3. Soothing for sore throats and coughs. Honey is often used to relieve sore throats and coughs due to its antimicrobial properties. It can help coat the throat and reduce irritation, providing a natural remedy for cold symptoms. 4. Boosts immune system. Honey contains enzymes and trace amounts of vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin C, calcium, and iron, that support immune function. Some varieties of honey, like Manuka honey, are especially known for their immune-boosting properties. 5. Promotes digestion. Honey can be soothing to the digestive system. It has been used to treat indigestion and to promote gut health. The prebiotics in honey can encourage the growth of good bacteria in the intestines. 6. Skin health. Honey is often used in skincare products because of its moisturizing and anti-inflammatory properties. It can help promote wound healing and reduce the appearance of scars or acne. Composition of honey. Honey is primarily made up of natural sugars, including fructose, 38%, glucose, 31%, water, about 17%, other sugars, like maltose, sucrose, and oligosaccharides. It also contains small amounts of vitamins, e.g., B vitamins, minerals, e.g., calcium, iron, potassium, amino acids, enzymes, and antioxidants. The specific composition can vary depending on the type of flowers from which the nectar is sourced.
That is awesome.
So did they used to like rub it on wounds as well? Besides just
Yeah. And that's why they say drink some tea, because most of the time you put honey in your tea. And really it was the honey that was actually getting rid of some of the virus in your throat. That's crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, it makes sense. A lot of that stuff I kind of believe. I didn't know so many vitamins. I didn't know about the wounds. I didn't know it was anti-inflammatory. That's awesome.
I didn't know it had. Did it say prebiotics or postbiotics? Prebiotics.
Yeah. And that kind of goes with comfrey cream. It's like everybody should have these things. It's pretty obvious for something that's not that expensive. Here it's like $6 a pound for local honey. I get it, just have it on hand, and I just put a little bit in my coffee.
I've had this honey before, but I can't remember what's the deal with it. Manuka honey.
I've never had it.
It's freaking amazing.
Manuka honey is a type of honey produced by bees that pollinate the Leptospermum sciparium plant, also known as the Manuka bush, which is native to New Zealand and parts of Australia. It is highly valued for its unique properties and is often touted for its antibacterial and medicinal benefits. Manuka honey has a higher concentration of methylglyoxal, MgO, a compound believed to contribute to its antimicrobial properties. Manuka honey is commonly used for wound healing, soothing sore throats, and improving digestive health, but it is also a popular natural sweetener. Its distinctive flavor is more robust and earthy compared to regular honey. It is often labeled with a unique Manuka factor, UMF rating, which measures its potency and purity based on its MgO content and other markers. The higher the UMF rating, the more potent the honey is believed to be.
Interesting. New Zealand too, huh? Where have you had it?
I don't know. Kevin always has it at his house, and it's like $25 for a jar, like a little jar.
If it's worth it, I mean,
I just looked up what it said, that it was mainly made of this compound. I looked that up.
Methylglyoxal, MgO, is a naturally occurring compound that is a byproduct of sugar metabolism. It is a type of reactive carbonyl compound and is known for its potential antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. In the context of Manuka honey, MgO is one of the key components responsible for its unique health benefits, particularly its antibacterial effects. The concentration of MgO in Manuka honey is significantly higher compared to regular honey, which is why Manuka honey is often regarded as more effective for certain medicinal uses, such as wound healing, soothing sore throats, and fighting infections. MgO can also be found in other foods, like coffee, certain fruits, and processed foods, but it is the higher concentrations in Manuka honey that contribute to its reputation for medicinal properties. However, it is important to note that while MgO has shown promise in scientific studies, more research is still needed to fully understand its potential health benefits.
I feel like in that entire description, the only part that actually described what I looked up was it says it is a type of reactive carbonyl compound. All of the other things
was just repeating.
Yeah, and I want to know what that is too. Often when we do this, I wonder if there's like AI prompt engineers that find us accidentally and like, what the hell are these guys doing? I have no idea what they're doing.
Oh, they love this. It's just helping it build up what it needs to learn.
We don't even know how to write prompts correctly. We're just asking it questions, bub. I'm not trying to solve the whole universe.
Right.
Well, I mean, we are, but we're doing it, one bee at a time.
I'm not trying to write
Carbonyl
program.
compound is a type of organic compound that contains a carbonyl group, C=O, that is highly reactive. The carbonyl group consists of a carbon atom double bonded to an oxygen atom. Reactive carbonyl compounds are often characterized by their ability to interact with other molecules, which can lead to chemical reactions that modify the structure of those molecules. These compounds are often involved in processes like glycation, where sugars react with proteins or lipids, oxidative stress, and other biochemical processes. Reactive carbonyl compounds can form when sugars break down or when certain metabolic processes occur, and they can interact with proteins, DNA, and lipids in the body. Some examples of reactive carbonyl compounds include methylglyoxal, MgO, which is found in higher concentrations in Manuka honey and is known for its potential antimicrobial properties. Acetaldehyde, a byproduct of alcohol metabolism. Glyoxal, another compound that can form during sugar metabolism. While reactive carbonyl compounds can be involved in normal metabolic processes, their high reactivity can also lead to damage in cells and tissues if not properly controlled. This is why compounds like MgO in Manuka honey, which can have antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects, are of interest in health and medicine.
I definitely went pretty far off the rails of what I can really.
So it's basically it's saying like it can help you in ways that don't even really know whenever things go wrong in your body. It's like it kind of helps in all these processes.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
I still feel like in a lot of cases in that response, it was kind of like when you look up a word in the dictionary and then the
It
definition
just gives you another word.
The word, you're like, okay.
Another word to go look up. Like, okay, but.
All right, we're almost at 45 minutes. You want to end on that one? You want to do another one?
We could do since we did honey, let's do Celtic salt. Benefits of Celtic salt. And the differences between Celtic salt and Himalayan salt.
Yeah, how do you spell Himalayan?
Himalyan. Himalayan. Close enough. Yeah. It'll figure it out. Yeah.
Celtic salt and Himalayan salt are both considered premium types of salt, prized for their mineral content and potential health benefits. Here's a breakdown of their benefits and differences. Benefits of Celtic salt: rich in minerals. Celtic sea salt is unrefined and contains a broad range of minerals such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, and iron, which are beneficial for overall health. Hydration: the minerals in Celtic salt can help support hydration by maintaining the balance of electrolytes in the body, supports digestive health. Some believe that the minerals in Celtic salt help stimulate the production of stomach acid, promoting better digestion. Detoxification: Celtic salt is said to support detoxification by helping the body eliminate toxins and promoting proper kidney function. Natural and unrefined: being minimally processed, Celtic salt retains a natural profile of nutrients and is free from chemical additives.
Now you know why the Romans paid their soldiers with salt.
Yeah. Interesting. All right.
I cook with it.
Differences between Celtic salt and Himalayan salt. Source: Celtic salt, harvested from the coastal regions of France, particularly from the Gironde region, where it is collected through traditional methods. Himalayan salt, mined from ancient salt deposits in the Himalayan mountains, primarily in Pakistan, and is often found in large crystal form. Mineral content: Celtic salt contains a variety of trace minerals, including calcium, magnesium, and iron. The exact mineral content can vary depending on the harvesting method. Himalayan salt contains around 80 plus minerals and trace elements, with a high concentration of iron, giving it its distinctive pink color. It typically has more sodium chloride compared to Celtic salt. Appearance: Celtic salt, typically light gray in color due to the clay-rich soil it's harvested from. It has a moist, coarse texture. Himalayan salt usually comes in pink or reddish hues, depending on the mineral content, and has a dry, crystalline texture. Taste: Celtic salt, known for its briny, slightly earthy flavor, it is often used in cooking to add a savory taste. Himalayan salt has a milder, slightly sweeter taste compared to regular table salt, making it popular for seasoning and as a finishing salt. Processing: Celtic salt, typically harvested using traditional, hand-raked methods with minimal processing, retaining more of its natural minerals. Himalayan salt, mined, washed, and often left in larger crystals. It may undergo some refining, but it's usually less processed than table salt. Which one to choose? Both salts offer health benefits, but if you're looking for a salt with a rich variety of trace minerals and a more briny taste, Celtic salt might be the better choice. On the other hand, if you're drawn to the distinct pink color and the higher iron content, Himalayan salt could be more appealing. Would you like to explore more on how to incorporate them into?
Here, the Celtic salt costs more than Himalayan in bulk. I like the Celtic salt better.
I was just thinking that it said this was harvested in the coastal regions of France. Isn't all cognacs made in France as well?
Just like champagne. Champagne.
Did I spell that right?
Yep. Scotch is in Scotland. I think it just has to be barreled there for 6 months, and then they can move it and still call it Scotch. Everybody has different rules. Same way with whiskey. And
I'm going to read this.
Cognac is made in the Cognac region of southwestern France. This region is specifically located in the Charente and Charente Maritime departments, with the town of Cognac itself being the central hub. Cognac is a type of brandy, and its production is strictly regulated by French law. To be considered true cognac, the spirit must meet several criteria.
Well, we got to keep going now.
yep, you're teasing me. Don't edge.
What do I got to do to make it real
It
cognac?
must be made from specific types of grapes, primarily the Uni Blanc variety. It must be distilled twice in copper pot stills. It must be aged for a minimum of 2 years in oak barrels.
That's cool.
I didn't realize, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you have the knowledge of this, but all brandies and cognacs are actually distilled wine, right?
That I can't. I think you're right, but I don't know for sure on that one. People didn't order that at Cheddar's. They would just get, what do you call it, Hennessy, and they get.
Yes, brandy is essentially a distilled wine. It is made by fermenting fruit, usually grapes, into wine, and then distilling that wine into concentrate the alcohol. So it's interesting because all of the brandy and that whole genre of liquor is distilled wine, but then they distill, what do they distill? Corn and other stuff to make like whiskey.
So distilling it, so they're just taking out a bunch of the extra additives too, huh?
I'll have it read this part.
Yeah.
Process of making brandy typically involves the following steps: fermentation, Grapes, or other fruits, like apples or pears, are fermented to produce wine or fruit juice. Distillation. The fermented liquid is then distilled, usually in copper pot stills, to concentrate the alcohol and produce a spirit with a higher alcohol content. Aging. Many brandies are aged in wooden casks, often oak, which imparts additional flavors, colors, and smoothness to the drink.
They just cook it down longer, and so it's less. It's more. It's not as fluid, and that makes the alcohol content higher. That's why, like, I think it was Fraser. They would always drink cognac, wasn't it?
Maybe. I don't
And
know.
it was like the rich people drank it because it was higher
But
class.
I remember I read this a few years ago, and I remember thinking, I wonder if, because there's a lot of things that are in. So correct me if I'm wrong, but whiskey has gluten in it, right?
I think the sour mash has yeast. I think it probably does. I'm
So
not sure.
I think brandy would be gluten free
Probably.
because it's basically made from fruit. It's basically a salad, so it's really.
Yeah, the way they make wine. I did a wine tour once, and it was so interesting. I had no idea.
Yes, brandy's naturally gluten free.
Then now you have to ask: is whiskey or bourbon?
I'm like 99% sure whiskey.
I think it was. We might as well, since we asked the question.
Might as well clarify it, bud. I'm pretty sure.
That's
I'm
what
pretty
we're
sure
doing.
it's gluten.
We're trying to learn everything in the world. We're trying to become AI ourselves.
Whiskey can be a bit more complicated when it comes to gluten content. Traditional whiskey is made from grains such as wheat, barley, rye, and corn, while whiskey undergoes a distillation process that removes much of the proteins, including gluten. Some people with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity may still have concerns. Here's why.
Gonna keep going.
Yeah, I guess you have to. We stepped in the pool.
I am curious now.
Distillation process. The distillation process typically separates the alcohol from the solids, meaning the gluten proteins are usually not present in the final product. This is why many people with gluten sensitivity can drink whiskey without issues. Cross-contamination risk. In some cases, whiskey can be produced in facilities that also process gluten-containing grains, leading to potential cross-contamination. If you are highly sensitive to gluten or have celiac disease, it's important to look for whiskey brands that are labeled gluten-free or made in a dedicated gluten-free facility. Grain type. Whiskey made from corn, such as bourbon, is considered to be naturally gluten-free, as corn does not contain gluten. However, whiskey made from barley or rye may contain trace amounts of gluten, depending on the distillation process and any potential contamination during production.
It's good to know.
Interesting.
That's why I was studying that French bread, how they used to make bread back in the 1800s. They said they didn't mix it up much, and it made the gluten content less because the mixing process made the gluten come out more or something.
Let me ask you this one question. When we were looking at the Immortal jellyfish, what movie did you think of?
Oh, The Abyss.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Yeah. I thought that right away too.
Yeah. All right, we're at 53 minutes. You want to shut her down?
Yeah, we better. We're just going to keep going. Gosh.
All righty.
All right.
Well, see you next week.
See you next time.
Later.